And we're live on the twitch.tv/the Xisuma, doing a stream very early in the morning. I have a bit of a ropey voice. Actually feels like I might have a little bit of a cold. So I'm going to take it easy on the talking and have a bit of a casual stream. Wiggly Fox, thank you for the bananas in chat. As soon as I start talking, I realise this might go south. Like, You see, I've had a bit of a tickly throat and I felt fine, but now I'm talking, this might not have been a great idea. Let's give it a shot for a little bit. I am thinking that my voice is going to deteriorate, like, Let's see, let me run you through what I've been up to. I don't need this anymore, that was for an experiment. Maybe the voice just needs warming up, right? I'm denied about streaming today. If I wanted to stream, I could squeeze it in this morning before Saturday, and that's it. And then I don't think I'm going to stream Monday, but like, if I wanted to get an extra one in this week, it would have to be now. Hey, Daisy Music, thank you so much for 7 months. Hope you're doing well. I haven't caught one of your streams in a while. I feel like I need to make that happen. Devin Crates, thank you for 14 months. Appreciate it. So, what was I saying? I had trouble... Yeah, I had trouble having anywhere to squeeze in a live stream, and then I just had one of those nights where sleep just wasn't working. And usually what I do is I power through, and by power through I mean just, you know, not give up. If I struggle to sleep, I will just stay in bed and make sure that I at least rest. But about 4 o'clock, I couldn't stop thinking, and I started thinking about what I was going to do with some redstone, a little contraption I wanted to build, and then at 5 o'clock I was like, oh, let's get up then. And here we are 3 hours later, so I figured if I get up and do a few things, do a few jobs, I'll have time for a stream before I've got other stuff to do later. So here we are, squeezing it in. Hurricane Kelsey, thank you for too much. Appreciate it. Plagiatus here for 15 months. Thank you, my dude, as always. Month 2 out of 6 that I brought last month. Oh, right, you brought 6 in a row. Appreciate that, my dude. I think, if that's what you mean, I think that's how it works. You know me, I'm on Twitch, but I don't understand how it works. So what I'm building over here is an upgraded version of this. I want to move this out of the Evil Emporium, put it on its own little podium outside, and change the layout of that shop. Now, this is our original contraption. Down here, you put in your coins and then you give it a spin. Now, what I couldn't do is create an item filter that could detect 20 items. This might actually be like a filter system that detects 1. Can't remember if I got it working or not. Either way, I was thinking about it, and you really think you can do redstone in your head, but you got to think through all the different angles, and I felt like I had. So over here, what I realized we want is to use this to limit the space to 1 diamond. Then we get a signal when it fills up. So when we put something in the top that is a diamond, it goes down below, fills it up. Okay, then it sends across this, which looks a bit weird being double stacked, but basically it powers the dropper here, and because it needs to be like, because it needs to give you 1 result, so this dropper puts items in the barrel, that's where you get your derp coin. Because it needs to give you a result, I would need a block here with a comparator running into that, and then that created all sorts of problems. So eventually I realized we have to create a separate signal to go around here and lock the output. How does it give you a spin again? Hang on, have I missed something? I've been testing this over and over again, and I think I might have actually missed something. So if you get a weak signal, you don't get anything. Maybe I just settled on it working like that. I think I missed something here. Okay, let's test it, because I decided to step away from doing the redstone, and then you come back to it and find out something's different. It's very typical. So if I put a diamond in here, okay, it's running the spins, right? And then it stops when the diamond disappears. That's perfect. So that worked just fine. Now let's see if you get a result when it picks diamond first. Yes, you do. Because that travels around... Ah, it back powers up there. Okay, it's fine. I just didn't notice that. So our redstone signal back powers into here. So if you get diamond first, this doesn't go to that bit, but because of this down here, it does. So yes, this actually works as intended. Now the next thing I need to do is add some note blocks. And then after that, we basically build it on Hermitcraft, but I also thought what I want to do is make this thing more interesting and have it so that you have like derp coin, like premium and regular. And I'm even thinking, I won't do this today, but maybe if we get time, I think it would almost be cool. And the way we could achieve this, right, so here's an idea for another day if I want to come back and challenge myself for some more redstone. If we had, let's see, I need a dropper and a hopper. If we had it set up like this, now maybe the player can even see the hoppers in the interface. I'm fine with that. Let's say we've got the droppers facing upwards. Now I can put premium on one side and regular on the other. And then we could have different note block combinations for the different types of winnings. I like this. I like this. I know if I start doing this, it'll take a long time though, so unless there is a way of looking at this, you could potentially expand this so it's a little wider. Same redstone underneath. Same redstone here, 2 inputs. But then you're going to need, let me think, you're going to need multiple signal strengths out of here, which I don't think you can do. Let's check it out. Okay, I'm going to grab Snowball. In fact, I'm not going to do this with the one we got here. So just down here, if we go and throw in some redstone, right? This gives you 1, 2, 3. Snowball gives you 1. Unfortunately, it's not possible. So there's no in between there. So essentially, you'd have to take your successful signal, and then, which is this bit, and then run it into that thing. Which, you know, this might be quite easily modifiable now that I think about it. So what you want is your hopper that's on the thing that I just showed you, where the items go up into it. Then you want a comparator on either side. Now, the unfortunate thing here... Oh no, it definitely gets more messy because... Well, actually, maybe not. Okay, if you get the weakest signal, you need one of them to be conditioned to not activate on the weakest signal, and the other one to be conditioned for the strongest. I don't even know if that's possible. Do you know what? I'm just going to mess around with redstone. I'm getting off the beaten track. I wanted to be on Hermitcraft, like implementing this. So how do we set up these comparators, right? So that they would activate for different signal strengths. If I put just anything stronger here, no, that's going to be too much. You have to put in a custom signal strength. Okay. Best way to do this is just an inventory, so it needs to be stronger than that. Right. Sword. Okay, then that means when a sword comes up here, that gets powered. And you only need one thing. So then when your normal item goes in, it doesn't. Now, how do we get this one to do the opposite of that? I think if you put it on subtract mode, maybe you get something. So, what do we have in there? So I want this to be off. But it doesn't mean I can put one in there and that be on, does it? Okay, right, I'm going to think on that for a second. Let's read some chat and some messages. Bees are cool, thank you for subscribing. K-Dads, thank you for 46 months. Listening to anything new at the moment? Yeah, I'm listening to Lil Nas X and Spieling. I've got those 2 albums on rotation. A little bit of Alan Partridge? The Alan Pearson's project. And I've got a Mayhem record on the playlist that's captured my interest. I'm trying to find some new music at the moment, so if ever recommendations, hit me up on Twitter. Zora Spinamana, thank you for the cheers and bits, I appreciate that. We got Still DM here for 3 months. And Bertie J, 373 for 34. Thank you for your tremendous support, peeps. Mr. Fire Falcon says, I don't understand this redstone, but I'm still enjoying it. I'm glad you are. Redstone is a little tricky, but it's definitely worth getting into. El Udo, I've listened to, I think, every Ginger record. If ever you got a suggestion, just check it on my music blog first, because you can just press Control F and type the name of the band, and every band I've written about is listed on it. Lockie D Nook, thank you for 70 months. Waffles in the morning. Edith says, I don't understand Redstone, but it's relaxing to listen to. Well, hopefully I can talk about it in a way that will make sense to you as well. So the challenge here is that we have one side that gives us a signal just for the strongest. Can we make it so that this one gives a signal just for the weakest? And I think what you now have to do is probably some sort of detection here that cancels that out for your output. So when you get a longer one, you need to say no to this one. So if we think about this in terms of, and it's, oh god, so many ideas racing through my head. I keep forgetting what we're doing. We're making it so, like, I think an AND gate here doesn't help us. So another type of gate is like that. That doesn't really, I don't see that helping us. There is a way to do this. So when that's active, it needs to cancel out any output from there. You could maybe do it with a locking repeater. And quickly this gets ugly as well, right? Like, it doesn't look so good. Oh, wait. Maybe I was onto something with the torch. So, if I put that there, and we have this, that means, no, that means it'll only when that one, when it's longer, then, well, actually, that would just stay on. So that's not it either. Maybe it's the other way around. So if that turned on, this would be on. I don't like the flow of these signals. Becca, thank you for gifting the sub to Roger Ian Shrubbery. Appreciate you gifting the subs as always, Becca. Torch on top of 1 block away, says Yeast Donkey. Are we talking about here? So our output is on. And then you always got to think of outputs in terms of it being on, right? So if you think of that as the output, the thing is, the problem here is that, oh no, wait, look at that. Oh, okay. So then weak one comes in and it turns on. But if we get a strong one, now does it turn on when we take it out? Nope. That's what we're looking for. That's actually it. That's the circuit. So the question now is, have I overcomplicated this? Sometimes you can overcomplicate things by using inversions and multiple torches. I think the locking repeater method might just be the one other way. Now the issue with this is, our locking repeater would come out of the side and need another repeater pointing into it. Can you see the problem there? So if we go back a little further, and now it's a bit big and bulky as well. Okay, so let's test this one now. We'll definitely have to change the timing. Right, so you get your signal, and then you don't. Oh, well there you go. We just invented 2 ways of doing it, right? So we can have our pick for whichever one we want. So now what we should see, let's go grab a lamp. Or actually a piston maybe. let's use a piston because it makes noise. So there's one output. Here's the other. So we randomize the thing here. Okay, only the one on the left activated. Then the one on the right activated. Now I'm wondering, do you actually need two separate ones? Because there's probably something going on here. Yes. So if I just put the other output there, for example, now we don't need any of this. No, I put that in the wrong spot, but you'll see my point, right? Like, we technically now don't actually need... Right, okay then. To simplify it further, it could actually go where that repeater is, but I might want to do it with this circuit. But the outputs would probably be harder to put close together. So if these bits right here need to be like in that shape, then it's kind of hard to see where they would go. Yes, maybe you could put one there with a bit of redstone, and then if the other one were there, see, you've got to get the power to it. It's not quite in the right spot. Curly says, what does this do? It essentially takes... It basically gives us two outputs for what type of item we put inside. It's for a randomizer. So if you want your redstone to go to two different places like we do, you have to devise a circuit to detect the difference between the two things, which we've done. Now we're just looking at like how it uses the space and if we can change that at all. Do you know what I can do? I can put a block there and have that function the same. That allows me to put two pieces of redstone here that point into that block. And then I need a repeater to get that signal out. No, that doesn't really help me. That doesn't really help me. Let's put this block in place and try and look at it a little different. Oh, there you go. That's how you do it. So that, if all the player sees is this, which is, yeah, no, if this were the front of the contraption here, then you need a block there. So that's all the player sees, which I'd be pretty happy with, right? Let's get rid of this now, because we don't need any of this. And we also don't need this. That's your contraption. Now the trick then would be is to merge these two ideas together, which makes me think, let's try and refine this a little bit. Like, this is probably going to need to be more central. Oh, do you know what? Well, I wonder if you put it there, if it would work the same way around, but that might not be so necessary. Now I'm wondering about re-looking at this entire thing, now we know the concept a little better. Mon PJC, thank you for 23 months. Nice to catch me at this time, hope you're having a good day. It's good so far. Lots of people in chat are just asking what I need. You only need to detect one and have an OR gate. Comparator with -2 from the side. Block with one input and torch for the other. Comparator with -2 from the side. Block with one input on the side and a torch for input. Yeast Donkey, I don't quite follow you. It's always hard to follow Redstone from chat, really, isn't it? But there probably is a simpler way. I'm just wondering now if we look at this slightly different. Actually, I think I'm going to just end up mirroring what I've already done. But like, if it were this one here. Will you be making more music in the future? Forgotten Conquest was really nice, as WLC19. Thank you, my dude. I'm glad you enjoyed it. One day I will be making more music. Just don't know when that is. Another way of looking at this. Ooh! I think I've just sussed it, right? Like, I can also put redstone there. Yeah, let's take it back a step. Now I think I've got what I want. I was sort of boxing myself in on options for where the output would be, right? So let's say we do that. Get rid of all the unnecessary bits. So if that's at the back, now we have far more flexibility around the front, which is cool. Just wondering if there is another way to wiggle this around a little bit. I think that's probably as good as it gets. And this allows us to put blocks there and have like a platform like this across the front. So again, going back to this, like, because we want this thing to be relatively close to that, you know, we can wiggle it around a couple of blocks. We now want... We now want to move this whole thing around. I think it's doable. I think we should give it a shot. So... let's actually put this into... look at this. Okay. Let's call it 2. Relative position needs to go down by 0. We're in save mode. Up by 1. That has contained pretty much the whole thing. Let's save it. No, that's not saving it. That is. Let's bring it over here somewhere. So once again, chat is asking me what am I doing. So basically, whenever I live stream Redstone, it's just, what are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, so this right here is a contraption to put a diamond in there and to receive a derp coin. Now what I want it to actually do is give you like a 50-50% chance to getting premium or regular. And we'll balance it so that it feels fair and you get a good amount for your diamond, right? With the chances of getting lots of one or little of the other. Oh, that's another thing. I could also balance it so you're more likely to get regular derp coin than premium or something. And I'll have to do some spreadsheet stuff later on for this as well. But anyway, let's now try and bring this bit into the fold. So I definitely feel like I'm going to need a bit more leeway around here. And I think I'm actually, you know, although I've brought the schematic like and put it in here, I'm pretty much moving just about everything. So this is going to be a real mess. Let's go ahead and take out this. Pretty much got to take out everything and just rebuild it. Let's face it, right? And that's always super tricky because you got just so much to visualize. But I think the first thing is probably having this come in this direction. Oh yeah, it's a sticky piston, isn't it? Okay. Something like that, right? That means this gets moved over here. Okay, and then that pushes over to these. And they output their signal in that direction, which is nice. And then that's when we get this circuit. So what we've got to look at now is how there's quite a bit of distance between them. Godly Gamer, thank you ever so much for 2 months of support, my dude. Appreciate it. Jetstream says, so 50 chance to get premium or normal, right? No, what I'll probably do is rig it up so you get more regular derp coin and less premium, but then this randomizer will give you way more chances of getting them, and I'll do all the math and stuff. So I want it to be more interactive, like music and lights, more things going into the barrel, more happening. So we're like busying up the whole system. And if I did that with just premium derp coin, it'd be tricky because the input is a diamond, and like the value is supposed to be about 1.3 derp coin to, or sorry, premium derp coin to a diamond. So it's supposed to be slightly more valuable. And I say slightly, 33% is pretty good. So we have to like factor that in and do the math for it. Now let's get this bit of redstone in next, back here, because everything else that I'm building needs to factor in that this is non-negotiable. I could move it a little bit further as well if I need to, because of the nature of the redstone here. You see, next to this we then have our platform of 4 blocks. And already you can start to see the squeeze taking place. Could definitely move this over a block, so we won't worry about it just yet. But you see, what I'm most worried about is this. Like, this is the loop. So the proximity of like the output to the input. This would be really good if I were color coding a little bit here. Oh my goodness me. Do you know what I should get into doing? Saved hotbars, right? Like, and just being able to switch to like color coded wall would be really good. So the input is like here currently, and our input is actually there or below it. Can we could shimmy this up if need be. So essentially, right, you got your, let's put a little bit more of it in place. I haven't got the right things set up on my hotbar at the moment. Let's put a note block and come back to that later. I think that one was set to 3. Barry Chunk, Barry Chunk, thank you ever so much for gifting those subs, my dude. Johnny Sandberg, Ashton Shade, Kaleido517, Fairy Tale Lover, and Wage, thank you for tuning in. Y'all been gifted subs, be sure to say thanks in chat, appreciate it. Literal lights and music, says Mr. Fire Falcon. Yes, literal note blocks and lamps. So, sorry, was that 3? This one, that one. Looks like we need, oops, extra blocks on the sides. Okay, now that gives us the finalized bit right there. I'm feeling like we probably didn't need this extra bit of space. Like, what's that a hang up from? That's, oh, that's because we pasted in the original thing. Huh. Okay, let's just rebuild it from this angle, I think is probably easier. I don't think we need that extra bit of space, really. Just drag everything over a block. Okay, So the input for that is one of these. And remember, the proximity of that was this block here. I'm bringing in the input block, okay? So that was the proximity. I really want to color code the whole thing now. I'm just like, this just makes so much more sense. Define Noob, thank you for gifting a sub to Green Anxiety. Appreciate you doing that. I'm also conscious of time, like I do want to get on Hermitcraft and build this, so oh, Yeast Donkey tweeted me, okay. Whoopsie, oh jeez, clicking on the wrong buttons here, let's check it out. I'm not seeing a tweet, my dude. The last tweet I got was 3 hours ago, so, not sure. Becca's gifted a sub to Define Noob. Thank you for gifting the sub to the sub gifter. Appreciate that, appreciate that. Lots of love in the community today. That's good to see. Thank you. So yeah, with this now needing to be there, we have several options for powering. Oh, actually, can we make this super duper compact? Like, there needs to be a repeater next to that block, and that's actually at the height of that thing. So if that were one block lower, I think it means it would be like that. Now, when you put stuff close to one another, you run the risk of... Yes, okay, so if we power that block, it locks this hopper. That is not good. And I think what we just need to do is... Put this here for reference. Who here is familiar with the Frank Klepacki soundtrack for... I just realised my question makes a lot of sense. For Command and Conquer, because this song sounds like it's off of the first expansion, Covert Operations, but the name of the song is VR2, and I think it means Voice Rhythm 2. So it's probably like a leftover to that session that made it onto a later soundtrack. And so, less than 1% of you understood what I just said, but that's fine. Pontanu0, thank you for 19 months, my dude. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Alright, so we want to get it to here. And then that's going to be this circuit. So let's start putting those blocks in place. Going to be quite a few of them. One of the issues here is that like the area is built out of gravel. Might be beneficial to like lower all of this a bit more and have or raise that. I'll probably raise that. Definitely. Oh, I'm going over the redesigns in my head now. It just, I'm looking at the space and feeling like this could be so much more compact. If we did this, and one of the horrors of like constantly changing a design is that you end up like overlooking something, so you always got to keep these like different things you're trying to achieve in mind. So that will still work, which means that we can raise up all of this. So we go down to this level and knock all of this out. Then we got one that points that way. Then the one that points to there for the barrel. And I totally just broke my item filter thing. I'll have these back, please. I'm here to learn, says Linksy. Oh, hopefully watching this will help you then. That actually activated... Yeah, that activated that. That's good. That means it works. However, all of this is kind of in the wrong place, right? Ah, God. I just realised my mistake. The one above is the filter. Wait, what just happened there? So this bit, I don't think that block's going to face that way. Because what I'm thinking now is like if we look at the nature of this circuit, we probably just want to flip it and put it somewhere else. So if we come back to this thing, what is like the most compact way we can squeeze it in there? Okay, you kind of want it to use the same shape. Which I think is going to be like this space. This is really difficult. I need like a screenshot of this. And put that on my other screen. Dante Red Eye, thank you for 21 months. Wendy B2, thank you for 3 months. Appreciate your support. Appreciate it. Here's a question though, chat. Like, how important is it to compact? Because I am redoing all of this stuff to compact, and it's actually like really time consuming, but it's also super satisfying. Now I'm starting to feel like, actually, hang on, this doesn't make sense. I'm not including everything correctly. So we want... Do what makes you feel good, yeah. The problem is though, like you can try and compact it too much and then get frustrated, but yeah. So I'm just looking at the other image that I got here. It's kind of hard to keep it all in frame. But I should be... The problem that I'm struggling with is that I've got to flip what I'm looking at in my head. And I'm doing a very bad job of... Okay, hang on. This is my new output or input. Because I'm thinking it's going to fit together better this way around. So then that, I need to get some of the elements in so I can start to like figure it out in my head. So that is that, essentially. Oh, this is the worst, trying to flip it. I think I flipped that correctly. We're kind of set up for this thing to somehow power that down there, so I think I'm doing it the right way around. Remember, we raised this all up by one, although one of the reasons that I did that was because we want blocks above here for the area, so that's actually probably a good idea, even because then I look back at it and think, oh, it could be smaller. It's like, no, you did that for a reason. Let's get rid of this as well. Okay. So now what we're going to need is the circuit that runs below all of this. Which goes like that. So we're going to have our double input. The double input is that, which means they need pistons. And we'll worry about powering that later on. That being said, see, this is now bud powered. Ooh, yikes. That makes everything there a lot more complicated. Okay, let's continue on. So, down the bottom. Oh, actually, the input would have normally come in from a different angle, but I think we're okay. We just have to do that. So when it first gets that signal... Right, now, is it... Okay, there's a repeater there. That's what's wrong. So that will power up to this spot, which will make sure that that gets powered. Then it needs its back powering, or its loop, if you want to call it that, which is, I believe, just that. No, it's actually a repeater that points into that block. Right, and then that would have normally gone in that direction, but these two won't interact with each other, so that's fine. Okay, so you got that going on, the back powering bits there. Now this means the redstone that controls this redstone torch is linked to this circuit, so we're probably going to use something like that. Now the trick was to, first of all, give it a increased signal strength. By the way, we're definitely not using that way around now. Let's grab that. So, increase signal strength. Then you have this thing. And it goes to a repeater on 2. Now, it's when it comes back down. So the verticality is kind of important here, actually. I'm not sure if I can replicate that the other way around. Unless the signal is inverted. So that then needs to reach this here. It's not too far, really. Bit messy, but it does get there. Okay, so this bit next. What's the best way to power this correctly? It is to push it in from the side, sadly. Right? If I put that here, it's quasi-powered, so that doesn't work. So we have to get something like this going. So when that turns on, it needs to go down there, and then this is in the way. You know what? It doesn't... Maybe it doesn't need to be mechanical. And we will get a full signal strength out of this thing. So we can do that. That should achieve the same result. We might be looking at a finished contraption. So every now and then there's this moment where you're like, I think I placed all the redstone blocks. I hope I have. We're at that moment now. The chillest streamer, a warm blanket and a hot cocoa, says Anicia. Thank you. I had a cup of cocoa last night. Right, I'm so, like, rigid with food and treats and stuff. But last night I was just like, man, my belly aches all evening. Usually I put up with it. Today I'm going to have a hot cup of cocoa. And I tell you what, it's very satisfying. Just after I was done, I was like, I'm good. I'm good now. Antonio Ash says, this is witchcraft. 100% confirmed. Ugh. God. That water was still lingering around. This is redstone. Diamonte, thank you ever so much for 3 months of support. Appreciate it, my dude. And Wendy B2, thank you for subscribing. 3 months of ruining my sleep schedule so I can watch every single stream. Dude, these are uploaded to the second channel, you know. Sleep is important. It's very important. Right, let's check this out then. So everything should be good to go. Okay, that is all set up, ready to accept diamonds. To do our testing, we kind of want a bunch of these here. Now I'm worried about repeater timings and whatnot. Let's just double check a couple. Yeah, that one's supposed to be the seconds. What about the ones at the bottom? They're both single ticks. Everything's in a slightly different position. We did all of that correctly, I'm pretty sure. And then up here, all of this is set up and ready to go. Now, what we don't have is anything in here. So let's just make it a 50-50 since the output here is... like, it doesn't need to be balanced at the moment. And then we don't really even need to hook that up with anything. What I do need to do is hook up note blocks and conveniently and lamps. Like this, the way this is set up here will allow us to make some vertical redstone and some sounds in a bit. Okay, there we go. Let's... what we got? F sharp and B. Okay. So we put in more swords because we want it to run around a little bit. Then we've got the even split. I mean, I think it's good. wait. It's cause, yeah, okay. It's because there was one extra that needed to be put in. I've left one in, by the way. Right, then it stopped and this didn't retract. So that tells me that this bit here is broken. I think I can see the problem straight away-ish. Let's go check it out. So this thing... wait, what was I looking at? Okay, yeah, the comparator goes into a block, then it's 2 pieces of redstone and the third one is there. So there's this fourth... I don't think that's the issue. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe that could actually be the issue, yeah. Bummer. I need to conduct an experiment here. I'm not sure how... Like, I'm pretty sure this doesn't work the way I want it to, right? So, let's say we recreate what we just saw, right? Need that. So that creates a signal strength of 3. Cool. Right, now we want it to come round to this corner. It does work like that. That's a change that they made to redstone. Aha. Aha. So I think if I put that block there and have redstone run over the top of it, it will then achieve what I need it to do, which is to activate this bit. So let's go ahead and do that manually, right? Okay, what happened here then? See, 2's good enough there, but it goes directly into the block. So if I set it to 3... Okay, interesting. It required a 3rd. Oh, the problem here is we got that. No, that doesn't make any... Did I... What? That didn't make any sense. Okay, right. I believe we have normality. We've reset the device. Okay, we're good for a test. It looks like this thing keeps up with everything else. Okay, now everything ran, but this didn't activate again. So the problem is something at the end. So let's watch the thing now end. That goes up straight away. That's... Right. That's not unlocking it. That's really strange because we tested it ourselves and it worked. That's really odd. I think the event isn't creating a 4-tick pulse, is it? No? Okay, that's a 4-tick pulse. What's going on? I mean, that turns off. Ah. It's back powering it. That redstone is pointing into there. Therefore, we need that. Oh, so this probably works with 2. So the reason when I tested it and it worked a moment ago is because I had disabled that redstone at the front. There you go. Right, now I think we have troubleshooted all of the redstone bits here. Very cool. Let's chuck in another diamond. Let's also check that filter. Yep, did I set it to 2 again? I did, so 2 is what it should actually need. And that's it, right? Now here's the cool thing. Here's the cool thing. Now you can just go and dump 5 of these in there. So we're going to watch that, right? Okay, so that... So I tested it like that on the other contraption, and it was okay with it. What's different here? Is that thing pointing downwards? It isn't. Yikes. I'm sure that that worked back here. No, it didn't. Oh. Oh, that's like the most fundamental part of all of this, is that it's supposed to work. That's bizarre. Maybe it was this design that worked that way. That is so irritating, I'm sure. Maybe I forgot. Oh my god, how did... So I must have changed... I'm sure I tested that. Something must have changed. That is really bad, because it means everything else now might need a redesign. Let's break down what's going wrong here. So, when we unlock this, the next one shuffles down without that changing. So, We need to lock this one at the same time. So I kind of need, like, I think I need another signal here. Then I can't put that there. Weird. Let's think about the order of events a little bit as well. So that needs to be. This is classic. This is classic difficult. This needs to be locked the entire time that that's unlocked. Therefore, I believe it's going to need to be locked longer than all of this. So let's go down here and activate that. And just confirm that can take out an item when this is locked. Good. So we need that. Maybe even we do it with a piston and a block. But we need that to be there. Here's the thing though. It's only when this activates. So when this activates, something here needs to happen first and last. And I think the way we would do that is by having whatever powers this block, however we do it, it needs to get a separate signal to get here first, and then that signal needs to run through to the other side and continue to power it after, which is super tricky. Super duper tricky stuff. Okay. Final challenge, you know. It's the boss fight. Not entirely sure where this is gonna go, but we're gonna look and try and make sense of things. Now, when it comes to what type of signal we're gonna pump into there, I'll tell you what, we actually can do it this way. Yeah, I think we're gonna come out into this side space a little. So let's say we start like that. We then need 2 inputs for this, and you can see straight away we're running out of space. Maybe that's not the way to do it. I guess we could have like input 1, input 2 possibly. Something like that. So maybe with very delicate timing. Alright, it comes from down here. Now we need to put a delay into this. Oops. Yeah, a delay. Right. So let's think through the order of events. We got 4 ticks before that turns off. I think that's probably too many, as that's 4 and that's 1. So let's set it to 2. This will be locked before. I think that might just be it. Come on now, peeps. Fingers crossed. Why 2 inputs, says Nimblefire? Because we need this signal to be longer than the one down below, and I think we've just did it. But there's probably some unintended side effect / consequence. That being powered is fine. So let's go ahead and let's just give it a whirl. Let's put 5 in there and then see what happens. We're waiting for that to activate. Now what did it do? Didn't do what we wanted it to. Fine. Okay, we're going to have to just test. So let's have 1 here. And then power that. So it took that. I think the issue is it still went straight down despite our best efforts. Let's now put that there and see if that helps. Makes it slightly longer. Wait, how are we going to do this? I think it's probably going to be best if we run the system every time. So I'm going to go ahead and reduce that to... Oh wow, my inventory's full up to that. Right, let's put 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's still got stuck there. Okay then. This is a 2-tick pulse, which probably means that this goes off. Right, let's give it a try. Yeah, there's a blink. We can't have a blink. So I think we have to change this, which could disrupt how it pulls items out. Right, now there wasn't a blink, so that works in our favour currently. Right, we've got 63. Oh, that's what I was worried about. Now this turns off for too long. If we set that to 3, we might get very lucky and get it right in the sweet spot. No. There is no sweet spot. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do is probably separate these circuits, which is kind of not too bad. Now what I can't do is make that parallel like so. So we needed to... How can I... Like, I could probably do it with loads of repeaters leading up to these inputs, but, like, there's not room to maneuver like that. I can not move that up a block. I could move it around over to this space, potentially, and do something with it in this area. So if I wanted to, I think I could bring this out, have a sticky piston here, and kind of like give us more wiggle room. Right? Now if I did do that, the repeater could perform the function of giving us 2 of these instead of 1. Which, actually, we're kind of building that out already. Okay, and they're kind of actually pretty well positioned as is. So we need the 2-tick signal to go there. Therefore, that needs to be a 2-tick delay. And then I think we need a 3 and a 1 in order for the timings to be sort of parallel. Let's keep that away from that redstone and have it go like so. But then we need this to go into that block for a different route. What we could do is just have this thing like so. And that thing here. Right, so now we've taken our output, which makes it harder to test, funny enough. Well, not really. If I put that there, it's going to do the same thing. Okay. Okay, it just ran. Yeah. So it left that in, which is not a good sign. Oh dear. Right, I'm gonna nip to the loo, and when we get back, we're gonna fix this. It's gonna work. Be right back. Okay. Is that the normal look of note blocks now, says Anisha? No, I'm using a resource pack. So really, this is about sort of testing the timing, I guess. If we go ahead and like add our own little delay circuit, like this. Just need a button. Oh, they released at different times. That's because there's some bud powering going on here. Right, we want them to release at the same time. That's very important. Then we're going to learn that this bud powering is like essential to make the contraption work. That's how these things go. It's like, oh no, it doesn't work unless you got that. Speaking of which, what? How are you... I'm gonna guess it's the input here. I don't even know. Like, what? Oh, redstone. It's one thing after another. Let's just blame it on the input, right? Oh, do you know what? It is probably, but it's probably the button. Anyway, they look synchronized that time, so it's the length of the button that's probably causing an issue more than anything. So we're probably going to have to go back to using the actual input. How could a slab do that, says Anisha? A slab doesn't hold redstone power, whereas a block does. So the wire on top powers the block. The block is diagonal to the piston, and therefore it... let me demonstrate with a live experiment, right? Okay, so if I update this, it moves upwards. Let's do that on the other side. I'll update this, doesn't move, because the slab isn't powered. The redstone on top is, though. It's one of those things about redstone wire, it's not just the wire, it's what's on top as well. Hey X, when you actually build these on the server, do you tend to every now and then mess up, as I could imagine with this much redstone? Yeah, there'll always be like building it and testing it again, but like once you got it working here, you know it's going to be all right. Like eventually. Right, what did that do? That did correctly. Right, so now we got to put 2 in and see what it does with that. I'm not sure if that means it works properly or not. Right, okay, so that, it did not work properly. The thing went in. Something's wrong with the timing. Like, I think even though... I think we need that, like, 4th repeater here as well. Although, hang on, now that we've got 4 ticks there, that should allow us to do that. Okay. Let's just hope that's it and we can be done with this now. Nope, that's not good enough. That left... Did it leave one in the top? No. So, the thing that we're struggling with is right here. Is there just ain't enough time. It just ain't enough time. So we need to keep this locked for a little bit longer. Right? Which means we got to get, like, another signal in here. It's just a bit silly. Maybe what we can do is use a little bit of comparator magic. That it adds the initial delay and it will potentially back power. Use comparator pulse extender. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. So it's going to be tricky to like work in here, but like I mean, essentially the pulse just needs to be longer anywhere here and not back power. So in theory, if I add an extra repeater here and then torch, right? This, technically speaking, oh, it's a clock. Oh yeah, because it can't back power. Huh. I knew that, but somehow I still... And I don't have a lot more maneuverability here. Oops, I could push this up a block, right? And that, in theory, doesn't cause... No, it doesn't. But I can make that a slab. No, I can't. No, wait, that's why I need the next one there, but then it blocks that. This is pants. God, we are so close. God. Just that one little thing. Try using a dropper instead of a hopper. Or using observer chains to extend pulse. Well, I'm not using a hopper to extend the pulse, so I don't know what you mean by use a dropper instead of a hopper, but observer chains? I'm not sure how that works. Oh wait, no, maybe I do know what you mean. Like, would it be something like this? Does that extend the pulse magically? Let's find out. Oh, no, that didn't. Doesn't this have to then be like a dropper? Also, maybe I've done that. Oh wait, it might not have needed to have been because I did that. Then it back powers. Dang it! We just do not have the right things on our side here, it feels like. Thorgil, thank you for resubscribing, my dude. 18 months in a row, that is wonderful. Appreciate ya. Put in a slab, redstone line can go up it, but not down. Right, got ya. And I think actually we don't need that. Oh, we do. Now I don't have it on my hotbar. This has definitely gotten to the point where it's now like... it's grating at the edge of fun. Like, come on, this has got to work now. The answer is still no. Oh, maybe I'm getting something wrong here. Do you know what? This, actually, the problem might be that. Because it locks that block. When we... Oh my word, the whole time it might have just been that. Let's get rid of that. Dang it. It might have just been that. No. Okay, but I still think there needs to be a slab. Maybe we still need the pulse to be slightly longer. This inventory really needs a clean out. I just don't get it. Like, it's definitely that we need to lock, right? Like, maybe we really do just need a way longer pulse. Although, something I've noticed is that is not set correctly. Okay, hang on. Oh yeah, and there's still that. Right, okay. Oh my god, it works. It works. That was it actually working. Okay, so not only was it the slab there, it was that. Let's now remove this and see if it works. So now you can dump in your diamonds and just let it run. Yeah! Woo! Finito! How about that, my friends? There is... still more left to do. No, I'm messing with you. That's actually it. That's now the contraption finished. Okay, beautiful. Wonderful. Right, and we get to do a little bit more fun stuff here because we've got our sounds. What we want to do is make them a little more interesting, and that can go there just fine. Just looking for how much space. We actually have just enough space on that side. And just enough space on this side. Trick then is to see if a note block can carry like a redstone torch. There's several ways I could do this next bit, but we'll... Do you know, I think I might use observer blocks here. Because I can use repeaters to add a little delay, but I could also have it higher up. Because then I'm thinking, put a torch on here and put a lamp on top of it. and then another torch and another lamp. So those will go blinky blinky. But then you're going to see a bunch of ugly torches, which may or may not look good. So you decorate around it, etc. We use observers. Okay, this will be covered up at this level. So we can have note block there, but we can also then have the redstone lamps like this. And that looks super cool to like come along and look at. And then they stay off as well and turn on when you win something. It's looking good now. And there's like a big space here for like signs or instructions. It's got a nice feel to it. So let's go ahead and move these up a block. Put an observer between them. That sounds nice. G&E. I don't know. I'll look up some scales and stuff later on and pick out some notes. But now they both got like a different sound about them. So let's come back to here. This thing's gonna like run for a little bit longer. Then up here it will be one more than the other. We know that. So let's see what it feels like. Then the player comes along, right? Dumps in some diamonds. Interesting. I've got to say, randomization in this game does feel a bit odd sometimes. Right, I feel like you should also have something sound off when you do the run first. So let's go ahead and add something like that, I don't know. So now, where are my diamonds at? They're all in this barrel. Let's go ahead and like chuck in... We're going to chuck in 4. Ooh, that works. This is what I originally wanted, but I just couldn't figure it out, you know? Another thought came to mind here is the look. Like, maybe I could put those there and then have the lamps, like, directly up behind them. I don't know. Depends how much space... What I probably want is like the lectern somewhere in here. The lectern, when you turn the page, puts out a redstone signal. That doesn't interfere with anything if it's there. So you walk up, read the lectern, and then you look down, you can use the hoppers here. One thing is that the player can actually like interact with the storage for the items. And we're also going to want to add some hidden storage to keep them full. So... maybe just put some trapdoors across the front. Like, I like the idea of things being properly flush. Oh, what if we used iron trapdoors? Like, I can put power in both of those locations. And then they would be a block that is, like, permanent in that regard. And then let's put them there as well. So the hoppers are also locked. Interesting. Right, let's go grab our levers. Okay, it made noises, but it didn't. Ah! That thing. Now I could put it here, but then I got to put a block to hide that. There's got to be a block here, which maybe ain't a bad thing. I could maybe put a repeater there, but I don't really want to test this thing all over again. It just works. So let's go ahead and do it that way around then. Okay, so now what we're going to do is move these. Or maybe leave it like that. That's pretty cool like that, right? That's pretty dope. And then, you know, maybe just for like a little bit of... It doesn't do anything, but it looks cool. You have that. And then we'll probably put some derp coins on it. Right, so then both of those are functional. Now, do you remember what I said a second ago about wanting... let's get rid of that. Wanting to be able for these to be stocked up. So back here, there's going to be additional barrels of stock. That's super important. Okay. So if I want these ones back here to actually do something, might need to do... it's going to be odd. Unless we do it on a bit more of a delay, right? Okay, so my filling up barrel could be that block there. And then this could actually run the other way around to there. So 2 note blocks. And the actual thing could... It's possible, it's just, do I really want to do it like that? Okay, so if I want... Oh, do you know what? It would be the dirt block over here, right? Like, you got to grab some attention. What would be over here are like big, fat dirt coin blocks. In fact, I probably just want 1. I think that block can be a little obnoxious if you put too many around. Okay, the Gyrum, thank you for the Prime. FSD, thank you for 4 months. And Suited Llama, thank you for the raid. We're getting raided, people. Welcome all the raiders. We're doing a redstone live stream. Building a contraption for the Hermitcraft. And just going over all the considerations and details now for the final part of it, I guess. So, our stocking up is going to be on the sides there. We can also now put a chest. I don't know why I couldn't have done that before, but there was a reason. So like a chest, or maybe even a double chest, worth of stock on either side. This thing's going to be running around the clock. Okay. We're going to take our signal out here. We can actually have that point upwards if we want it to. So we need to think about the variety of ways in which we can get the signal out and about. But actually, if I just reduce that a bit, the best way for the lamps would be to have them sort of done diagonally. So we would have lamps at that level, lamps at this level. Which means the observer block is in between. Okay, so what did I say about getting... I think that means we do that. And it feels to me like the note blocks now can probably go... Let's go grab them. Like in these spots. Now, the first chording was F sharp, A sharp. Let's go C to D. And then over here we'll go E to F. Or maybe F sharp. I don't know. Let's see what that sounds like. Oh yeah, I didn't put my lamps in, right? That's kind of good. We need some like other block that's inviting in this space. But let's give that a try. Not very satisfying sound-wise, but we can work on that. I wonder if it's worth putting a third one here. And then that would be that note, which might mean they sort of link up a little bit. Whoopsie. Definitely going to have to look into some like note arrangements which make that sound cool. There's definitely a delay thing here where like one side kicks off quicker than the other. If I change that to 2 ticks, I wonder if we can... Okay, that sounds better now. That sounds better. So maybe 2 ticks there was good. Let's go chuck in some more diamonds again. Hey look, the system is working every time. Come on, randomise, yo! This ain't randomisation. That's cool. That is cool. What block would go in? I tell you what, it's probably going to be a deep slate type block. That being said, actually, one of the things that I wanted to do was like take the ores that we got, the diamond ores, and bring that in, aesthetically speaking. So you might have that, a dirt block there, but maybe also those, right? And then like piles of diamond nearby. Maybe like more. Maybe we integrate like stone in the background as well. And I don't mind the idea of this being like all symmetrical and stuff. That wouldn't be there. This might even actually be. Right, so it looks like that. And I think I'm going to do away with that being a chest because it leaves a gap. So we've got a barrel there. Also, it's got a full block above it, so it wouldn't have been openable. So I need like a back area. So like from down here, I need to be able to interact with that and interact with this, which is going to be relatively easy. Let's expand our platform, which is entirely possible. And then you'd have a little pathway leading up to this space, right? So yeah, maybe some stairs here at the front. Derp coin block, says El Dang Isimo. Yeah, the derp coin block. You know the derp coin block, right? So step up here. Look at that glorious, glorious look. I think some slabs, slabby jabs, are in order. Okay, that's not necessary, is it? That one. It's kind of looking alright. I think then maybe some sort of contrasty darker colour. Okay, that's the cracked type, which is actually a good one to mix up. Problem there is the way that is laid out kind of takes away a little bit, I think. How much of this do I actually want to use here and there? Not sure if this is really looking better now. Sort of getting a little too big. So it looks nice. It looks nice with this diamond poking out the edge. Remember, there's going to be all terrain around there. I think actually what we want to do... Oh yeah, we need to access that barrel, so we do need something there. Tell you what, let's go... That's probably more like it. Now you start... Okay, that's the shape that I'm looking for, right? It needs to just be offset is all. Right, so now that we've got that big... Yeah, that's feeling good. That's feeling good. It's quite big and beefy. Yeah, I'm liking where this is going. I have obviously had my head in the redstone today. Chat, let's have a little chat. Look, look, Mum, X taught me how to gamble. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No. No, 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 no. No. Sorry. Oh, you can tell I've heard that song a lot. I am not teaching you to gamble. Evil X is teaching you how to gamble. Evil X. Okay? It's almost as if there's some sort of like hidden messaging around this whole evil Xisuma thing, as if I'm trying to tell you something. But the reality is I'm not. It's completely thoughtless. There's been no thought whatsoever put into the evil X stuff. It's just total carnage, really. Total carnage is what it is, right. So I want to put slabs on here because I feel like the height we're looking for is just that little bit bigger. Right, and then what we're going to do is come in here and put in the regular deep slate tiles. Here and there. No. Lies, you're facilitating gambling. Yeah. I know you're joking. But, you know, breaking the fourth wall, that is what Evil X is about. Is about teaching your shady business tactics, right? At the end of the day, though, the derp coin is still, like... You can still come buy stuff with it. Like, it's working. I really like how that looks. I feel like some armor stand stuff in there might go well, but I was also thinking that it needs to be lit up, so... Oh, actually, maybe those ones, like, in here. Now, you can't really see that, which is okay. What I could really do is just put a shroom light in there. Yeah, that's probably the way to do it. Now, that is a different story, but this isn't, so... Shroom light there. Shroom light here. Shroom light there. And Bob's your uncle, apparently. Okay, so that's like fully lit up, all good. Obviously, you're going to come along and see this from different angles. So we kind of need a bit of a robust backing. And here's where I would probably start to like randomize up the blocks a little bit. So let's build this out of wool and use a little bit of world edit to our aid. I could even do some shading if I really wanted to. I think I'll do that. And maybe we'll come out by one more. Yeah, we'll come out by one more. I feel like Corrales is going to have fun with this, says Manuel. Manuciel. God, terrible with names, aren't I? You've been here a long time and I'm still terrible. Yeah, maybe we. I've got a little something prepared for Corrales. Like, I don't want to say anything else other than I have something lined up. And now you make me realise, if this is all ready, he's the perfect person to introduce to this thing. Oh, he's going to love it, man. I can just see Corrales sitting in front of this thing, listening to all the noises and watching the... you know, listen to the noises and watching the lamps and getting derp coin. Right, so now that's a very cozy looking little podium. I just feel like maybe a little bit of a border over here might be good. So this is going to transition with like the terrain, which will be gravel and andesite. So if we have that over here, and like that'll just taper off into the terrain. Very good. So Let's also just add... My paths are made out of stone and cobble, not andesite, but like, you'll have a rickety path leading up. And then you got this old thing. Very cool. Tell Corrales it may spit out B-dubs' clock. I could technically put a clock in there. You know, that's something I could do. Anyway, I said I was going to do some like world edit here and maybe some shading. I think the shading is like so unnecessary that expand 3. I think I'll just do some basic this and that. Replace a white wall with cracked deep slate bricks. Deep slate. No. Deep slate underscore bricks. And blackstone. Yeah. No. No. It's all wrong! It's all wrong, my friends. That's more like it. So when you see it from those different angles, this actually doesn't really add a lot, so I'll probably like use the terrain to cover this back area now that I think about it. But there you go. That is not part of what we built today. And that's it. It could probably be compacted, but I don't want to. I also kind of like how it ended up using a lot of the space I thought was going to be empty, so it's probably pretty on the compact side. Now, chat, what about details here could we add? Like, there's not really a lot of room to add too much more, but I was just thinking, like, the chain block might look cool somewhere here. Smooth basalt lining the path. Nah, the path is just stone and cobblestone, so no need to change that. Removing the blocks from the note blocks. Ah. Huh. Wait. Okay, it leaves a gap, which is fixable. Okay. Wait a minute. They play with sounds above. Oh, I never put any custom sounds into this. Like, okay, let's take like emerald blocks for example. So is one of these being muted? I guess is the question. Yeah. Oh, that's a better sound for this as well. That one never plays. Okay. So if I want more out of this, can I control click that? No. Right, we've got 6, 10. Let's go with that. Then we got 10, 15. Let's go at 18. Oh god, it's so loud! Why is that so loud? Define Noob, thank you for the cheers and bits. Could you hire Cleo to make an awesome evil organ and hook Etho up to it to play the appropriate music? Cheers. Thank you for the cheers and biddies. I think that question would be better directed at Cleo or Etho. Making an evil organ? This kind of looks like an evil organ. That's definitely something Cleo could do. And Etho could probably redstone it. Let's check out what's going on here. Oh! That sounds really cool. You see, now we've got like this confined space where the note blocks are in. And I'm thinking... Now I'm wondering, like, with the randomization, if we could make something that becomes more musical after the fact. Oh, I've definitely got to make like a random musical machine at some point. That could be a really fun redstone project. We'd have to put some theory into it as well. I'd have to think about that because you can like sequence arpeggios randomly and make them sound good with the right chords and scales. I'm just now thinking like, what if you could sort of build that in Minecraft, like, and just wondering if you could build like an overlapping matrix of redstone wires with torches so that only certain intervals light up. Maybe with something like that you could fully randomize an arpeggio sequence each time. Okay, that's got me really curious. I definitely want to investigate that further. So if we look at this here, I think what we're going to do is probably... Wait, what are we working with? Full blocks? I guess maybe just... See, I don't want that, but I do want that. That's what I want. And I can't put one there. So I think the whole wall around the edge will just probably be raised to that level, right? Maybe. Something like that. This last bit here, though, is barely a bother. Or a worry, should I say. And that, my friends, is a contraption. To be built on Hermitcraft. Beautiful. How many diamonds have we made so far this stream? Oh, look at that! We've made over a stack of diamonds. Who doesn't believe in the derp coin? Who doesn't believe? God. Imagine a machine that can output random music every time. Is that even possible, says Jetstream? Yeah, it's totally possible. Like, if you did it with computer code, you could... Well, I mean, it already exists, right? Like, arpeggio randomizers are a pretty common tool. The trick is, like, how do you translate that to Minecraft's redstone? So, I was kind of thinking initially, but I might be wrong on this. So, you can have, like, crossed redstone lines. So you have an array like this, right? And it's, like, over and over again. And then when you activate this, or unactivate it, depending on how it's set up, like a signal travels down below. So those could be notes or something like that. I guess you'd have to space them out actually, wouldn't you? Yeah. So it would be more like... Whoops. Something like that. So now you can visualize how when you power one of these lines, you're sort of saying, hey, I want those 3 lines to turn on. When you're powering this, it's like, no, these 3 lines over here. So if those all led to note blocks at the end, right, and they were in a scale of some sort, then these lines across here would pick the notes sort of in order. But then when it comes to powering the notes, like you'd have to run, or maybe you have a series of repeaters, so all the signals will always arrive at the end at the same time. But what they're going to do is, like, there'll be, you know, different tick delays. So they'll always play in order up the scale or however you set it up. But then you can pick... Okay, so I think what we've done here is if we put all the notes in order, we can create a system where you could pick out what notes to be played out of all the notes. So maybe not all 24, maybe just 12, or like a scale, so just a collection of notes. But then the randomization would be what input are you picking. That could be pretty tricky to get like an even split across many different things. So then it would just pick out a melody to play. But it feels very basic. Like, what if you wanted the notes to go up and down? I feel like there might be some more interesting ways to arrange the note blocks and put them into different spots. Minorana says, I'm in maths class, I should be paying attention. You should! You could be using those mathematics to figure out this problem! Oh, God. Oh, God. What is wrong with you? Can you move note blocks with pistons? I believe no. If you could definitely do some interesting stuff, maybe with a tapeworm or whatever. I stand corrected, you can move them. That is a huge deal. So, you could have a tapeworm. Ooh, okay, here's an idea. So you could have a tapeworm rotating note blocks, right? Like round in a loop. Doing their thing. I'm not going to build it all, but you're going to visualize it. So these are all getting shuffled around, and then maybe like the repeaters fire off at random. Interesting. See, what you got to do is you got to pair both like how you do it in Minecraft with what order of events is happening. So if you could just like imagine the scale and like it were a computer code that would do exactly what you wanted, then you could think of a basic set of instructions to be like, okay, you got 12 notes, pick 5 at random, boom, 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 boom. Then pick a pattern to play them in, boom, 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 boom. You know? But then how do you translate that into Minecraft? And vice versa, like what does this mean in reverse? So we could have these things rotating so that when we fired a random redstone signal, it'd hit a different block. Or maybe the same one if it's done a whole lap and the timing's right. So then what do you achieve out of that? Because you want to fire the inputs in a way to like get something interesting out of it, because I think otherwise it's going to sound like random noise. It's very peculiar, because if you laid out a bunch of these in a row and had the repeaters, you could play them sequentially. The injection of randomization is like, it's not randomization. You want it to be structured in some way. Anyway, I think this is going to be like super tricky, but definitely a really good idea to think on. Also, by the way, I was supposed to go on Hermitcraft this stream. Like at the hour point, I was like, do you know what? Let's just get this thing fully. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking, let's get this thing finalized, because now it's just amazing and ready to go on Hermitcraft. So I'm going to go do that later today, my friends. Later today, I'll be doing that. Anyway. Think about that idea with the music and the redstone. Maybe you'll come up with something. Joel Kip, thank you so much for 71 months, my dude. Really appreciate your support. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, hanging out with me here. I wasn't sure if my voice would get through it, but it got through it. And that's the going to be the end of the stream. Let's sort out a raid. So no one I know is streaming. However, YouTube recommends someone. Twitch recommends someone called One Topic. So I'll send you over there. Let's see if it works. Right, that's it. Hit the follow button, peeps, and I'll see you soon with another video or something. And right now we're doing a raid, so hit the raid button in chat. A massive thank you to everyone who subscribed, resubscribed, donated, and cheered. Your support is always appreciated. And I'll be seeing you soon with another one. Bye-bye.